Welcome back to another episode of Split Screen Gamers, where a couple nerds talk about video games. And today we have a double header featuring the fact that Bioshock 4 is undergoing a story overhaul. Yes, you heard it right, a narrative overhaul. Secondly, Sony is suing Tencent over literally a copycat of their game. And if you see the screenshots or you see any gameplay or just the art direction in general, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. And then lastly, Chandler is going to talk about why there is a lack of third-party freaking games coming to the Mac, bro. And honestly, I agree heavily on that, but we'll talk about it later. All that and more on Split Screen Gamers. Now, without further ado, put your headphones on, get your tea ready, and let's get active.
Your weekly power-up of video game news, updates, and industry buzz. From blockbuster releases and indie gems to hardware drops, studio shakeups, and everything in between, we break it all down. This is Split Screen Gamers.
Boys, what's up, y'all?
What's up? How is everybody doing, dudes?
Doing good, bro. I'm doing way better now that the pre-order for Mafia 4 feels more like just like the game is in my hands. We're less than 2 days away from the game coming out.
Yep.
As soon as I'm able to download it, I'm downloading it, I'm recording, and I'm playing. I cannot wait for that game, dude. Y'all got it pre-ordered, right?
Dude, same here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
ready to go.
Yeah, it's already downloaded on my PS5, bro.
It's already downloaded?
It's just, yeah.
I need to check that.
Because, yeah, dude, once you like pre-order a game, it'll start like an early download, and then it has like a countdown on it where like it counts down to the day it gets released. So
is it midnight?
It's pretty cool. Yes,
Oh,
it is
dude,
midnight. Usually.
I might pull an all-nighter because we have to like do a review on it, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure y'all ready. Okay, I'm just making sure
Yeah.
y'all ready, bro. I know Chris is probably going to finish it, but honestly, who out of all three of us, let's take a guess right now. Who will finish the game first?
I want to say, me and Chris picked up Silent Hill 2 Remake at the same time, and he beat me to it. He actually completed it before I did. Like, I was a little jealous. I'm not going to lie, Chris. Like, I kept looking at your trophy list, bro, and I was like, oh, man, he's already completed this game. I just know it.
Wait, that's not what I expected at all. I was going to say Chandler, and I would have bet my life on it. So,
dude.
Chris.
Well, I'm Chandler, I think, knows more games because you hop around on different games and platforms. Yeah. I'm a very, once I start Mafia, that's my sole single player game I'll be playing. Minus, multiplayer, Helldivers, Shout Out Ready or Not. We've been playing that recently, which is a great game, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
But I will be fully dedicated to Mafia. Like, that is all I will play. I get kind of, hyper-focused anytime I get something new. That's what I did with, RoboCop.
Yeah.
Still Wakes the Deep. Mafia is definitely going to be my next one. So I'll probably be there midnight too, honestly, playing it. And maybe I'll get there first, but that's probably the reason why is that's all I will be doing.
Okay. Then question. So Chris is first. He's going to finish the game first. Who's finishing it last? Just be honest.
David, I love you, man.
I was going to say David, probably.
Why,
it's
dude?
Be you, bro.
Why me?
It's going to be you.
You're constantly doing stuff, though.
Yeah.
Of the three of us, you're the most busy.
Yes.
Dude, my Friday, I hate it because I can only admit it, but I literally have a shoot Friday. So it's coming out midnight, but I'm playing for an hour because I got to go to sleep and get up for my shoot.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
So, but I will. I promise you right now that I will not make you guys wait to do the review. I want to get it out ASAP. Look, we're already beat by IGN and all the big guys anyways. Games Radar, all those guys. But we're going to get it out. I'll make sure that I pull an all-nighter. How long is it? Does anyone know?
Let's see. I would probably have to look that up, but I suspect it's going to be under 20 hours.
Actually, 13 hours. You're right.
Really?
Yes.
That's
shit.
What I was,
13 hours.
I was guessing.
So I just need to do a shift with overtime. Okay, baby. So just off the basis of y'all doubting me, I'm gonna beat the game in a day.
Okay,
Just
David,
on the
if
basis
you
of that
beat
y'all
us all, dude, I'll actually throw in some money, bro. Honestly, I'll throw in some money. I'll bet 100. No. I want to play it safe. I'll throw in $50, $50. If you beat it before me or Chris, I'll give you $50, bro. How about that? I'll give you how much the game costs.
Wow, that's crazy. Actually, I mean, I'll take you up on that deal, dude. Look,
$50.
I'll be sitting for 13 hours straight, and I might develop a couple hemorrhoids and a couple other medical problems, but I will do that for $50. I guess
$50.
Chandler's
$50.
questioning my morals right now, bro, and I don't know how I feel because I'm actually more than willing to do it.
Hey, man.
Well, dude, look, I can't wait. If you guys are listening or watching on YouTube, or listening on whatever podcast platform of your choice. We'll be doing a review on that as soon as it comes out, probably next week. Hopefully, we'll see how it all goes. It's only 13 hours, so I think we can pull it off. But anyways, we got a lot to talk about today. And the first one is Bioshock 4 reportedly getting a narrative overhaul amid development struggles. And this comes directly from IGN with Rebecca Valentine. Bioshock 4 is undergoing a bit of development overhaul. Per the report, the new Bioshock game, which has been in development for the last decade, crazy, I remember that being super popular when it came out, was criticized by executives, especially for its issues with the narrative. The studio will allegedly work to overhaul the story in the coming months. So, Bioshock 4 struggles have also apparently resulted in removal of Cloud Chamber Games studio head Kelly Gilmore and the shifting creative director Hogarth de la Plante into a publishing role. Employees were told in recent all hands that the company needs to become, per Bloomberg, more agile and efficient, which has some workers afraid layoffs may be in the horizon. And so the final statement was kind of, we are working hard to set Bioshock up for the best possible future. Right now we have a good game, but we are committed to delivering a great one. We are working closely with leadership at the studio to define its path. So as someone who didn't play Bioshock, did you guys play it?
Yes, I've played all 3 games.
So Chandler, you are the most qualified to speak on this then. They're saying that the most lackluster thing in the game was the narrative. Is that something you could attest to, or?
So, the narrative of all 3 Bioshock games that have come out, that have been made release, they honestly have the best stories in all of gaming. Now, 2 can be a little bit debatable because it wasn't written by Ken Levine, and Ken Levine is like an auteur. He's like a Hideo Kojima. He's the American version of Hideo Kojima, where he is very much perfectionist. He has his own style, his own creativity, and he honestly like reshaped the gaming industry as a whole with like his games, like with System Shock 2 and with Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite and like Thief 2. Like he's really reshaped the playing field with like, you know, game development. And like honestly, the best part of the first Bioshock game and Infinite was its story. So to hear this about Bioshock 4 not having like a great story and having like it being lackluster and like a complete overhaul, which is just crazy for a game that's been in development for years now, and they've already like developed assets for it. They've already like done like a lot of the
gameplay,
work for
mechanics, etc. All things that influence the story in some way.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought Bioshock 4 was out, to be honest with you.
No.
Still actually, like, I didn't realize it was still like in limbo. Like, I kind of always thought it was out already. I didn't realize they're still working on it.
I honestly thought it was canceled, bro, because there was a long stretch period of time where you didn't hear anything from it. Like, it's something normal with, like, game development. It's like where you'll hear about a game, it gets announced, and then you won't hear about it for the next 4 years. And then you'll see a trailer for it or some gameplay for it or more news for it. And this is just going through that, like, another trend of, like, that, where it's this team of developers making this game and shit's not going right.
No,
which is a common thing.
Bro, that's so common. And literally, I remember, I actually do remember, let me ask you a question. Did they put out gameplay for this at all, or like a trailer?
No. There's nothing. There's zero. We don't even know what we don't. So the thing about Bioshock, like the gimmick of Bioshock, is that it's a city. There's a city that's located in a area or in a place of the world where like no city ever would be built. So with the first 2 games, it's underwater. So Rapture, the city of Rapture, and then Infinite is Columbia, which is up in the sky, like the city in the sky.
Yeah, I've seen some footage from that.
So like people were like speculating like where could they place like a city at, underground, in the Antarctic, like where could they actually
Antarctic
put one
cool.
on the moon? Yeah, dude, like I was actually thinking they would put it like in the Antarctic too, but we don't even know. we don't know anything about this game, and like the fact that they're having this whole narrative overhaul is not a good sign. So
that's not a good sign, but it's also kind of a good sign in a way, because like you said, the narrative stories from the previous three games was something that really stood out to you and many other players, obviously, because they're very popular games. I remember when I used to have a subscription to Game Informer growing up, and I would get the magazines.
Same.
It came with the GameStop Pro membership. So I remember I would get the covers, and I'd collect the ones that I really liked. I'd take them to school and show my friends. And I remember seeing Bioshock on one of them. At least it was in there was like a couple pages dedicated to it. I don't know if it was a cover, but I remember looking at it going, "This game looks insane." I ended up never playing it, but I know that it's a beloved franchise. So what I'm trying to say is that I like maybe it's a good thing. Maybe they're like, "Hey, this doesn't match the quality of our previous games, story wise. We're gonna overhaul that and make sure it does." I'm all for it as long as it's strictly because of that reason and it's not for some internal reason that they're not speaking about, which sometimes that seems to be the case, and we find out after the fact when the gamers criticize the game, and then you find out later from the developers or some other part of the team, some other department comes out and goes, well, this was actually what's happening. Remember that happened with Cyberpunk with the executives and the developers, and it's like like it makes me Jason Statham, that voice he does in the freaking like every single time, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. That's awesome.
I'm never against delaying a game for quality, creativity. You want to give the fans, ideally the best it can be. So if that is the reason, which I agree, I hope it is, then yeah, of course. And you are riding on a franchise that obviously a lot of people really love. Mm-hmm. So you want it to be the best it can be. So I hope that's the reason. It's very interesting that they haven't released like anything for it though, which makes me like,
nothing.
That's concerning. That's for sure.
Yeah. Like, and it's been in development for years.
That's the problem.
At this point,
that's the problem. The fact that it's like I love to theorize and hope that it's a good thing that they're doing this, but 10 years into the development process, that's 98% a bad thing to happen. Yeah. Unfortunately. Well, let me make sure we're not missing something in this article here. Go ahead, Chandler. Sorry to cut you off.
I was going to say, it's such a big franchise, and that's the other thing. It's a big franchise for 2K because the only other like developer like studio that they work for or work with closely is Rockstar. Like a lot of their games get published by 2K, and Bioshock is such a big franchise for them. I think it's considered like their 4th or 5th biggest franchise in terms of like numbers of sales over there, because of like just the popularity of the franchise and just the quality you get out of the games. And it's crazy too because there's only been 3 games out of the entire franchise that have ever been made. So it's just that's a testament. Whereas I talk about this franchise all the time, but Final Fantasy has like 16 plus all these spin-offs and stuff, but people kind of forget about it sometimes. So, or Metal Gear, I mean there's so many like games in the Metal Gear series, but they almost like they sell well, but they're not at that same level as like Rockstar or Naughty Dog or Insomniac or anything like that. So it's just one of those things, y'all. Just one of those things. So,
and I did see in the article too, was interesting that I guess apparently they were doing a Bioshock 1 remake, but that got canceled earlier this year, it said. Yeah. So that's interesting as well. That definitely caught my eye. Like I don't know the story behind that, but that doesn't sound like a good thing.
No, which is crazy too, because like we talk about like movies or TV shows or video games that don't need a remake, and honestly the first Bioshock game doesn't need a remake. I think it's so good that remaking it might ruin it a bit. Now if you do like a 1-to-1 remake where let's take Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta, where it's just going to be a 1-to-1 remake because Hideo Kojima is not going to come back and pretty much direct it because him and Konami are not on best terms still, so that whole controversy. So what the developer team is going to do now is just make a 1-to-1 copy and paste remake where all it is that they're remaking is like updated graphics, just new gen graphics. That's it. They're not going to change the story. They're not going to change. They didn't even like re-record the dialogue for the actors. They actually kept the same audio files from the 2005 game and just imported it into Metal Gear Solid Delta. So what you hear is the original audio files from the 2005 game. So that could work, but yeah, I would just leave that alone. I would just leave that game alone, honestly.
Yeah, dude,
I think it has one of the best twists of all times and one of the best stories of all time. So, but what you guys think, y'all?
Yeah, man, I agree with you, bro. And also, look, at this point, I never played the games, and maybe I should go back and play them. Maybe it's worth it. But at this point, dude, just like you're 10 years into it, put something out. Like, and if you're put something out, and if you're not, I hope it's for the right reasons. Actually, I retract that. Don't put it out unless it's finished. Like that, these days, you can't even take the risk, bro. Especially for a game that's 10 years into it. Like you can't take the financial risk because the gamers are not. They're eating people up right now. So that is not the one. They're not the ones to play with, bro. And if you're Bioshock is so beloved, that's not the one you want to do that with. But dude, good luck to them. I hope it goes well. There's people's jobs on the line, so I always pray that goes well. But let's move on. Sony is suing Tencent. Now, you guys heard about this. We talked about it briefly before we started here. But if you don't know, Sony is suing Tencent over their new game, Light of Mortarium or something like that. Do you know how to pronounce it, Chandler?
I would not be the best man for that
Light
because
of
I usually
Mortarium.
butcher pronunciations on everything. So
I know, dude. I'm the worst. Light of Mortarium. It's something like that, but it's Light of Mortarium or something like that. But Sony's suing it because it looks like a direct copy of Horizon Zero Dawn. So they are literally like, yo, this is a copy for a game. I mean, you're talking about gameplay elements and gameplay style, look, characters, etc. So look, I'm gonna pull this up. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see it, but I'm gonna share it with you guys as well here. Let me know when you guys join in. You can see my screen. So this is can you guys see it?
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
So this is a Light of Mortarium reveal trailer. All right. I turned the audio off on purpose so it doesn't interrupt the viewers. But like I said, check it out on YouTube if you guys want to see it, or go look it up. So let me fast forward here. All right, check this out. Oops. All right. Have you guys have played Horizon Zero Dawn at all?
I have not.
They're very good games. All right, you see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Boom. Now let me show you this.
Oh shit, David. Oh man.
Let me show you this, bro. Let me show you this, bro.
I got a feeling.
Let's fast forward because this trailer is insane. And this game is amazing. This is Horizon Zero Dawn 2016.
Wow.
Gotta get to the good stuff here. Look at that.
It was also made by the Decima engine too.
Straight up.
I was gonna say those great graphics for 2016.
Oh, dude, this
yeah.
game was amazing, bro, and I still think you guys should play it, especially if you like stories. I think you'll love it.
I think it
Chris.
looks like it'd come out now.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, it was huge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, check it out. See that?
It was,
Do they look alike at all? Would you believe me if I
Yes.
said they weren't the same game? That's not the same game.
yeah.
I would definitely thought it was.
Exactly. Exactly.
Didn't
So,
tell us.
so if you look
I
up,
honestly,
go ahead.
yeah. I was gonna say it honestly feels like the other game's like a spin-off of Horizon Zero Dawn. Like
Yes.
almost like holy cow.
So here is a image of that. Check that out. Horizon Zero Dawn on the left, Light of Mortarium on the right. Now, bro, what are we talking about?
Honestly,
is
like,
Sony valid for this, bro?
Dude, yeah, no, they definitely are. And honestly, like the girl on the right, because I know who the girl on the left is. She's from Horizon Zero Dawn. The other one's from, the Tencent game. That girl could honestly be like her daughter in a way. Like they
She
look
has
so
red
similar
hair.
to each other.
Red
Yes,
hair. She's wearing
red-
She's wearing like that. That's I wouldn't be pressed to say that that's like an outfit that is similar. The second photo there on the right, there's an outfit similar to the one for Aloy, who's that character in Horizon Zero Dawn. Also, I mean, maybe not as revealing though. Aloy is like a really respectable, like strong woman, and then so I don't know if this you kind of see her back there. So I don't know if they would do that in Horizon because she's kind of really like a boss. But I'm just saying, like, it looks so much like the game. The character, I would say no, Sony, if it was just like, okay, like you have this character and they're set in this world and they have like similar monsters. But it's not similar monsters. The monsters are literally robotic dinosaurs, which is the whole idea of Horizon Zero Dawn, is that there's dinosaurs taking over the world, terraforming, and they're robot versions of dinosaurs. So like real dinosaurs that have existed or that we have fossils of, they've recreated it in robot mode, right? That's literally what that game trailer just showed for Light of Mortarium. It's like, dude, that is insane. I can't believe that they did that.
Yeah. Like, it is just one-to-one, like, plagiarizing, honestly. Like, it's crazy that it's being developed by a big corporation, too. Like, which is Tencent, which they own, like, a big portion of, like, the gaming sphere right now. With, like,
I was about to ask how large of a company they are.
Oh, they're huge. They're huge. Their biggest IP right now, currently, is Marvel Rivals. They own that IP.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. They're big time,
that.
dude. Yeah, they're big time. They did like a bunch of layoffs because like their team, like the Marvel Rivals team was doing so well that they wanted more money, so they laid off the team to make it like to have like an internal team to like basically operate the game more cheaply and stuff. They're kind of like an EA Activision. They're kind of iffy and stuff. They're kind of like a lot of people don't like them.
Ooh.
So, but they're like a Chinese version of EA or Activision. So, yeah.
Dude, it's crazy. I wish you guys had played the game so you could fully understand how insane of a copy this is. But this looks just like it, bro. Let me jump back into this article real quick. Make sure I'm not missing something. So, July 28th, Sony Interactive has sued Tencent for copyright and trademark infringement in California federal court, accused the Chinese tech conglomerate of ripping off its popular Horizon series of adventure video games. Sony said in the lawsuit on Friday that Tencent's upcoming Light of Mortarium is a Slavish clone of its game that copies several distinctive Horizon elements and threatened to confuse buyers. Spokesperson for Tencent and spokespeople for Tencent and attorneys and spokespeople for Sony did not immediately respond to requests for comment on Monday. When this is Reuters, by the way, talking about this. Sony released the first game of Horizon series Horizon Zero Dawn. I can't speak on PlayStation 4 in 2017. And yes, if you haven't played the game, it follows Aloy, redheaded girl, like I just told you about, just like in the Tencent screenshot. And Sony said in its complaint that it declined an offer from Tencent to collaborate on a new Horizon game. Whoa. Last year. That's huge. Tencent later announced the Light of Mortarium, which Sony said features identical gameplay, story themes, and artistic elements. Story theme? I said Thori. Story themes, bro? What?
Oh my god. Oh, dude. This is getting juicy, bro.
That's an interesting little tidbit there.
The fact that they denied...
a lot.
Yeah, the fact that they denied a collab... Dude, all these ads are going to get us demonetized here.
No, you good.
Or actually, I guess in some way it's monetized.
Yeah, I was going to say.
All right, we're done with that. But, yeah, dude, I think that is insane, bro. They denied a collaboration for a new Horizon game with them. That's just blatant disrespect, bro.
It's suspicious. It's suspicious.
It almost sounds like did they go back and just change names of stuff and created this instead? You know what I mean?
How could a conglomerate like Tencent hey Chandler, can you look up Tencent games for me, like a couple of big ones so people know?
Yeah, dude, let me do that right now. I'm still on that website. It's giving me like advertisements for all these different things. So
dude, the ads out of here are crazy. Without ad blocker these days, it's like you go to our website and you're pretty much just like it's like walking down Times Square. But dude,
yes,
literally, bro.
Dude, seriously.
Which leads into our sponsor.
Okay,
Times Square.
So Times Square.
Yeah, we're sponsored
by
too.
Times Square.
No, but dude, that's insane, bro. Like, so it's like they literally were just like, hey, we want to make a game like this. Will you collaborate with us? And Sony was like, nah, we're good, bro. Like we're doing good on our own. And then Tencent was like, all right, well, we're gonna make a game like it. We're gonna change it. They probably changed a couple things, but the fact that someone at Tencent didn't go, hey, maybe Sony won't like this. It's an exclusive game to their platform. Maybe Sony will be pissed off about this. Maybe they'll like take legal action. Is it like sounds baffling? Y'all. What?
And they're like, nah, it'll be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Well, what?
So Google is telling me this, but so Tencent is a major player in like the video game industry and stuff, but like they have a bunch of ownership and like investments in like numerous like popular titles and like studios and IPs. Like here, I'll just read you guys some. They own some like investments, and like pretty much Tencent owns like 100% of Riot Games, and they're the developer of League of Legends. Which if you don't know what League of Legends is, y'all, that's like one of the biggest MOBA games out there. Like I even watched like a bunch of esports on League of Legends. I actually have like a feature film script about MOBA, honestly.
I didn't know that,
but
that's cool.
Yeah, dude, I have like this feature film script idea that I'm really wanting to write about, League of Legends and MOBA.
You're a fan.
And like basically, dude, I'm a huge fan, dude. I love League of Legends. So they own 100% of Riot Games, and then they also own like Supercell. Like Tencent holds like a majority stake in Supercell, and they're the creators of Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. So that mobile game, insane, like dude. Where like it's like Vikings and like archers and orcs and stuff. Yeah, that's a huge game. They also
that dominated like, YouTube sponsors for like 5 to 6 years.
Really, yeah.
Yes, like seriously, dude. And then they also own like a significant minority stake in Epic Games, which that's crazy right there too. And like Epic Games, their biggest IP right now is Fortnite. So basically, Tencent is sounding like a big player in the esports area. Like they're a big player in like mobile games, esports, all that fun jazz. So they're big. they're money makers. So.
Yeah, they're a big company. For them to miss the ball like that is insane. So, yeah, that completely in the wrong. They own Tencent, a large Chinese conglomerate, owns a substantial minority stake in Epic Games, around 40%. This investment was made in 2012. So they made an investment into Epic Games before Fortnite, right? Because Fortnite was not a thing because I was in high school. I don't know. That's before that. That's insane, bro.
Yeah.
So they got big bucks. So they have the money. They have the money to bring in people to develop a game that is completely new and fresh. But they decided we're gonna go rip off of this because we like it. Who at the company is getting their head chopped off for this? Somebody is like, because Sony, bro, you're talking about Sony. I don't care who Tencent is. They don't got Sony pockets.
Nope.
There's no way,
Sony's,
dude.
Yeah. And Sony's more like a respectable company, honestly, than Tencent is. Like, I feel like more people know about Sony because they're not just all in video games. Like, they have televisions. They got cinema cameras. They got cameras.
Yeah.
They got, like, radios, like little box radios. They started as a radio company. So, like, people know what Sony is as a brand, but I don't think people really know what Tencent is unless you're into video games or you live in China. Like, honestly, that's just me. So, which... Speaking of Tencent, David, this is going to be interesting for you because, you play a lot of Ubisoft games. Tencent actually owns a minority stake in Ubisoft.
And so they just own a bunch of money. They just own a bunch of people's.
They got their fingers in
a
bunch of different stuff,
including people's ideas, apparently.
Yep, literally, dudes, literally. So,
hey, first of all, don't put that on me, though, bro. I just want to correct you on that. Don't put that on me, bro. I play one Ubisoft series. That's it.
I know.
One Ubisoft series. You can't have the viewers thinking I'm a Ubisoft fanboy because Ubisoft look, they're like, I guess I think maybe the most looked down upon developer, like, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, now it sucks because I love Assassin's Creed and so I'm gonna keep playing it. But yeah, they make pretty trash games. So I just want to correct that. So they're like, yo, David is just a Ubisoft.
A Ubisoft guy.
David's the biggest Ubisoft fan
of all time.
They do nothing wrong in my eyes, bro.
He loves them so much he speaks French. So yeah, they literally. Nah, I'm joking, y'all.
Nah, dude. Man, it's a colossal mistake, and I just honestly I'm rooting for Sony on that because that's just messed up. And I am also a fan of the series.
I'm curious, David, to throw a question your way to play devil's advocate a little bit.
Sure.
Just a teeny bit.
Ooh.
For me, personally, I said it when we were watching. When we watched, like, State of Play, one of the reoccurring things I mentioned and kept feeling was man, a lot of these games look the same.
Yeah.
Like, I lost track of them a lot of the time because I'm like, this looks like this one. I said, like, why are they all like medieval something vibes?
Yeah, like dark
They all,
fantasy.
like, I'm like, they all kind of look like the same game a little bit.
Yeah.
So my question for you, because I'm very curious since you know Horizon especially, what is the line for this where it's not a similar looking game, it's a ripoff game?
Ooh.
Like, is it because it's like the like you mentioned the story with the dinosaurs and stuff like that? Like, is that where the line is, where you're getting too specific? Or what's your opinion on that? I'm very
That's
curious.
a good question, and I think that's valid and to a certain extent. Like, so when you look at state of play, I think that you have two versions of quote unquote. You have inspired by, and then you have copy, right? And so we know about this in film. And so I think inspired by is like, I mean, Black Myth Wukong, great game. Inspired by Souls-like, for sure. Is it a copy? No, it's original. It has its own concepts, its ideas, characters. For example, like you can't take every fantasy. Fantasy has tropes, right? Fantasy has tropes. You can't take everything that uses a fantasy trope and be like, oh, that's a direct copy of Lord of the Rings. That wouldn't be right? So, because that doesn't make sense. Like, we're allowed to make games that exist inside the tropes that we've culturally set. Like, but when you're talking about you saw it. When you're talking about a redheaded woman character with a kind of a tribal primitive outfit on, standing on a mountain looking down at a landscape that is post-apocalyptic, and there's dinosaurs. I'm not talking about they didn't do like modern day animals, existing animals that are robotic. They didn't do you know what I mean? They didn't do humans that are robots that are like humanoids. They didn't do anything like that. They did dinosaurs that are robotic, for one. I'd be pressed to say that you can find you go to a lot of those games that we watched at State of Play, and you can probably find similar character designs in the enemies or in the boss fights, but they probably have their own defining characteristics. These things look like dinosaurs. These things are robots. So like, it's like you're just copying exactly the world. And then they know something that we don't know, which is that there's apparently story elements taking from it. So I don't know how far that goes. To me, it's like I think you said it the second time, Chris. To me, it's the too specific. So to kind of lean into if I get to try to back what I'm saying here. If they were I think I said this kind of briefly too. Say that Light of Mortarium was they had like a black guy, and he was wearing like a primitive fit, right? And he was standing on top of a mountain, and he had like two pistols that are like prehistoric / futuristic in a way. You know what I mean? And then like he had two like crazy guns or whatever that look in that time period. But then you look down, and he's looking down on like some like monkeys that are like huge gorillas and stuff that are robotic. That'd be different. It'd be like, oh, okay, like this is the same where it's inspired by Horizon because it has a similar, but the main character looks the same. That's unacceptable.
Yep.
That's unacceptable, bro. Like Johnny Gat can't look like Nico from GTA 4. Johnny Gat from Saints Row can't look like Nico from GTA 4. Those are games that are satire, they're open world, they're funny. Saints Row is always been before GTA just completely eradicated them off the map. They were always the two compared open world satire games on American culture, and then but they were never the same. They were a lot of people would go, oh, that's a direct copy. No, Johnny Gat was an eclectic, weird, loud, crazy character, and then who like had a band of Saint Row people, and then they were all like kind of like Suicide Squad in a way, like just kind of goofy characters. Then you take GTA, which is you place this character in this world where he's the normal one or she's the normal one, and then they play this in the satire America. Completely two different games, but inspired by each other. Those aren't a copy. Now if you were to do it where literally they're just, I mean, look, I think you guys get the point, but I don't want to keep reiterating it. I just think like, and I know you weren't trying to like debate, Chris, but I'm just saying I think that was a good devil's advocate, and I think it is up to us to clarify that there is a line, and I think that line is when, like you said, it's way too specific. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, very well put. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
100%, dude.
Facts.
100%.
Now
That was
look,
a really good
am I gonna
question,
play it?
Chris.
Yes. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I was gonna say twist. Oops.
No, I'm not gonna play it. Now, look, I'm open to criticism too. Like in the comments, like I'm wondering what the general consensus on this is because I'm like, look, it does look like a fun game. I'm a fan of Horizon, so it's like I like if it was cool and it was like kind of slightly different in a way that was like really not copy, I'd play it because I like that game. But like if it's a copy, then no. But I'm curious about what other people think about this. Have you guys seen any comments on it?
Not a lot, but like I mean, it's the general consensus is that this game feels like it's copy and paste from Horizon Zero Dawn. It feels like Tencent is just being like lazy and greedy and just basically just copying another like developer's IP and making it its own. It's like fan fiction almost at this point. It's like, you know, like instead of like using the same character names and everything, it's like trying to like make its own little like fan fiction. So
Dude, I just pulled up the IGN post 1 week ago that you shared with us. And I'm gonna read off the top 5 comments. The first one was, the fact that I saw this image and thought it was a Horizon game is not a good look for them. The second comment is, legit thought this was announcing the third Horizon game and got very excited until I kept reading. The third person said, yeah, I see the legal grounds here. Last person, it's definitely a clone. So I think people are like, yeah, yeah, that's crazy. I wonder if there's any defenders. Hold on.
I'm curious.
You copied the homework and you didn't change anything.
Exactly.
So, someone said, I don't usually like being on the side of the man, but bro, come on now. Someone said we have Horizon at home. That's so true, dude. Oh, dude.
That's pretty good.
That's funny, bro. Yes. Look, hey, I really, why is there like every time I open Instagram, there's like some girl with like that's half naked on my screen. Let me close this out real quick. I'm glad I'm not sharing my screen right now. But dude,
I thought you were gonna say a fly or some shit. Like there is a fly on my.
I'd rather have that, honestly.
Bro.
But
oh man,
you guys really need to play Horizon. There's 2 games. Both are very good stories, and I think the way I can convince Chris real quick is that without spoiling
you have
anything,
no faith in me. Oh my god.
Well, because I tried to get you to play The Witcher a while ago, and that's like I mean, look, I'm never gonna let you live it down until you play it, because The Witcher 4 is coming out eventually, and you're gonna probably pick that up, and I'm gonna be mad if the game's not good because you could have not spoiled your Witcher. Anyways. It's the greatest game of all. It's one of the greatest games of all time. I don't have to convince you, Chandler. You have to convince yourself now. It's internal. But
I gotta believe myself. Okay.
Let me convince Chris, because Chris, you're a story guy, and we align. We align both physically and emotionally, and we've shared a bed together. And I would be.
Oh my god.
What?
Hot tub too.
Hot tub. So, look, the premise of the game is that you play as Aloy. She is a girl raised by this random man in the middle of a post-apocalyptic world where there's robotic dinosaurs going around smacking people and killing them. She discovers that she's a part of the old world through a thing that she gets, which allows her to see a digital interface of the world as she interacts with it. It allows her to see the weaknesses in these robots. It allows her to like take advantage of that and become one of the best warriors. She starts to learn that not only is she special, but she is actually the descendant of the woman who created this world, because she created a world where the world was slowly dying, and she wanted to create a self-sustaining ecosystem. So she made these dinosaurs to terraform and reconstruct the world and make the resources that are non-reusable reusable. And so she developed it, but it was hacked by some crazy. I don't want to spoil it, but it was hacked, and then so now you have to discover through secrets. Oh my gosh, bro! You have to discover through the game what happened and why the world ended up going bad. And it's in game 2 goes bonkers with it, bro. Crazy with it. I thought game 2, I was like, the mystery's already been solved. No. Game 2 goes insane, bro. Go play it. If you got about 400 hours to dedicate to a series, go play it.
Well, I like a ginger representation.
Are you redheaded, Chris?
Yep.
I never
Daywalker.
Dude, I never knew, bro.
Daywalker.
We brothers anyways. You know what they say, right?
What?
You know what they say, right?
What?
You never heard of it? Like black people and redhead are cousins. You know, I'm being dead serious. It's a real thing.
I've always thought actually are opposite end of the spectrum from.
No, go look. That's crazy. No, that's crazy. That's why I didn't get that mad when you said the N-word that one time.
Yeah.
I wasn't upset over that at all.
Nincompoop, he means.
Chris never said that. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Chandler, lead us into the third and final topic of the day, which is the fact that there's a lack of PC to Mac ports for games, bro. And you got a Mac. I know you got the upgraded ones. So let us know, bro. What are you wanting out of this?
Dude, okay, listen. The fact that like any game launcher on here, and I'll call out all developers. All developers, hear me out. Publishers, hear me out. I don't care. I really don't care. Sue us. I don't care. Don't really care at all. Demonetize us. Get us kicked off of YouTube.
No. Wait. Hold on. I gave my life to this.
No,
please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yeah, please don't do that. I'm just setting the moon, y'all. I'm just
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
But yes. So I just want to call them out. But basically, ever since I got this Mac, I'm like, man, this Mac is so fucking good. I came from Intel, by the way. I came from an Intel MacBook Pro to a Apple Silicon MacBook Pro, which is an M4 Max. And the day and night difference is incredible. Like, it almost feels like this as a computer does not feel like a computer. It feels like any other Apple product out there. It feels like your phone, your iPad, your Apple TV. And honestly, that's Apple's little ecosystem in a nutshell. But going back to the gaming side of things, you know, I've kind of slightly known about this for a while now, and like the general gist is a lot of games don't get ported to the Mac for a number of reasons. For, you know, reasons that are more related to the publisher and that they demand a lot from, like, you know, Apple and like their business side and like their ecosystem to like support a lot of these games. And that's a fair argument. And there's also like Apple side, which is both. It's like a double-edged sword almost, where Apple's like really interested in like trying to like, you know, get like build up this Apple Arcade and like trying to get subscribers to it and stuff. And like they really want to be like the leading like, you know, publisher in like gaming on like your Mac, on your phones, on your iPad, on your Apple TV. But it's like they care. And they also don't care. It's a similar situation where it was Nintendo and the Wii U, where the third-party support on the Wii U. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember this, but it was a dismal. It was so bad. Like, you couldn't get any game to port on the Wii U because of just the architecture and like the processing power of it. But now, Nintendo learned their lesson. We got the Switch 2. It can play a lot of games. It can play like Cyberpunk 2077. Mac can also play Cyberpunk 2077. It can also do ray tracing on a Mac, on a newer Mac. So, like, games like high-end, like high production, very graphical, like fidelity kinds of games can run on Mac. But there's such a lack in the publishing side of things towards like getting your game on a Mac and such, that it's almost like, you know, what's the deal? Like, what is it? And like a lot of it, and like Gabe Newell, and he is worshipped as like a god. He's the owner of Steam and Valve. He is like a billionaire. So he actually approached Apple like many years ago about like getting a lot of their games and a lot of like other studios games on Steam to run on Mac. And like he's had meetings with them in the past, and like Apple's like, oh yeah, yes, we would love that would just generate like our market in like the gaming sphere and whatnot. And like Game was like, yeah, great. And like, you know, the meeting ends and whatnot, and then years go by. And Gabe Newell doesn't hear anything. Valve doesn't hear anything. Steam's team doesn't hear anything until they reach out to Apple, and like Apple's like, "Hey, are we still on board with this?" It's like, "Oh, we weren't aware." It's almost like the team that they met with never like communicated with like any other like profession in their corporation about like getting Steam to be more of a powerhouse on the Mac. And it's not just Steam, it's also like the Battle.net from like Activision Blizzard, Epic Games Store, Riot Games, Rockstar, like other like big game launchers and publishers have like such an interest in getting games on the Mac, but it's like Apple's lack of care like kind of like puts like a fork in the road. So it's really interesting how it's like a bit of a double-edged sword, but like also too it's like publishers have been wanting this for years, but they're not like getting it. So a lot of times if you go on like forums and stuff and like you're having a problem with a game running on a Mac, the common thing that people will say like as a comment on like those like forums is like, well, you should just get a PC. Don't even bother. Like, go to PC. So, yeah, it's just, it's almost like it's futile to play on a Mac. But, like, to me, I think it's possible. And the fact that I have been able to play Final Fantasy XIV, League of Legends, World of Warcraft, StarCraft 2, Diablo 3, you can play Cyberpunk 2077 on this. I haven't played it on here yet, but I want to try it too. Like, I actually want to try and play it on here just to, like, see how it runs and stuff. But, yeah, but, I mean, you know, Assassin's Creed Shadows on here, David. Like, you can play that game on here, dude. There's like a bunch of other games, a bunch of other like graphic intensive games, and I'm like, where's all these other games?
Right,
man?
right.
I'm like,
so question for you, like, so why do you think that is? Because I have my theory,
like,
but why do you think that Mac is so lackluster in their attention towards this problem? "Quote unquote" problem for them, but
I think the biggest thing is their Apple Arcade. I think that's the biggest thing because they really want the Apple Arcade to succeed, and like the biggest competitor to the Apple Arcade is like Steam or
Apple Arcade,
like,
bro. Let's be for real.
Yeah,
what's on Apple Arcade? Hold on,
not a lot. Like, dude, David, look that up, bro. Look that up, dude.
Is there any games that are even? Hold on.
Not to my knowledge. I mean, it feels like most of the games that are on Apple Arcade are like mobile games. Like,
bro, are you serious, dog? No.
Yes.
I don't want to play any of those games.
No.
Come on, bro. Be for real. Look, I actually think it's a brand thing, if I'm being honest. Look,
that too.
Apple is so meticulous about the way that they are perceived, and I think for sure they are looking at the way that becoming because they make good machines, that becoming a gaming PC or Mac or whatever is going to alter their brand in a negative way. I think that they have a classist kind of approach to branding. Only creators buy our stuff, or people who are, it's a creator's brand for sure, but like people who want the aesthetic of everything. They want their AirPods to ergonomically sit next to their Mac, and then right next to that they want a wireless charging iPhone next to it, and it's supposed to all look good, and you can all get them in space gray or whatever. They really care about that stuff, and I think the gaming world doesn't really fit that bill for them. I think that they're a little nervous of what it might get perceived as, which I think is valid from a branding perspective, but also like from Apple was always about innovating, and so I'm like, just innovate it then. Like you created the iPhone. You did the Apple Watch, like you did a lot of innovation throughout time, especially in the branding world. I'm like, just innovate it, make it your own. If you're gonna do Apple Arcade, then like start accepting. If you don't, like, Apple's known for this. They let certain things happen on their phones, and sometimes they don't. Like they're like, yo, we're gonna be selfish right now. Steam's not allowed on here because we're gonna make people buy through Apple Arcade. Do it if you want to. I don't like it, but like do it, because there's some people who were like, I'd rather spend $4,000 on my Mac for doing any Blender work, and then also play some games on it. And so I'll get them through Apple Arcade. They're not willing to do that at all, though, which is strange. Like no one wants to play. What do we got in here? No one wants to play freaking Fruit Ninja, bro. Unless I'm on the go. I don't want to play Skate City, New York, Temple Run Puzzle Adventure, Crossy Road Castle, Vampire Survivors Plus.
That's actually my game of the year, honestly. I'm just being honest right there. I'm just want to point that out, David and Chris. Just want to point that out. It's a masterpiece, better than Bioshock. I'm just saying.
And I know somebody, a better man might go. I have no hate against mobile games. I hate them. I hate them. Every time I watch that Kojima documentary about how he got pushed out of Konami for a mobile games guy, and the guy took over, I don't like them. They're cash grabs. They create addictive personality disorder stuff that like I don't rock with. The gaming does the same thing. Let's not be real. I'm not gonna die on that hill. But let's be for real. Like, come on, bro. Mac, you got the best machines in the world. You have the best OS in the world. I can't deny that. Now give us some freaking games. I would love to take my Mac to on an airplane and play Mafia 4: The Old Country on it. Guess what I can't do?
Yep.
Do that. I can't do that. I can't. It's not going to be available, is it?
For Mafia for the PlayStation Portable?
For Mac.
For Mac? No.
See?
I don't.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not going to be available, bro.
Yeah.
When I created this channel, I was doing Let's Plays, and I bought a $1,000 PC that's pretty specced out, like a laptop, and I played all my games on it because a lot of the games weren't available on Mac. So that would have been easily avoidable if I could have used the $4,000 or $5,000 I spent on my Mac 2 or 3 years ago and just used that to play. But now I'm down another $1,000 because you guys don't want to port it. Port it for me, Mac, please.
Yep.
Port the games over, bro. Port them.
Damn straight, David.
Port
Damn
them.
straight.
I'm trying to sound like a general here from like freaking Full Metal Jacket. Port them. Port them, soldier. But anyways, so dumb, dude. So dumb.
What do you
anyways,
think, Chris?
Yeah, Chris, what do you think, bro? Do you even have a Mac, Chris, or are you just PC?
I'm a Mac guy. I got the same one as Chandler, the M4 Pro, but
Pretty
that's for
gnarly.
editing.
You guys chose the enemy.
What?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't have much to add that you guys haven't already said. I agree that it's a branding thing with Apple. You know, they want to be known for these specific things, and gaming's something that they don't seem to want involvement with. Maybe it's like they want to seem more professional, I guess. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
they're, iPhones and computers built for like businesses and work, and I don't know.
I mean,
I don't see why you wouldn't do it and make more money for your company.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if Apple made like one for gaming, like a gaming computer.
Dude,
Oh,
that'd be
Call
sick.
it like the
That'd be sick.
gamer, whatever.
The iGamer.
Like,
dude.
why wouldn't you make something specific if you want to like earn more? I don't know.
Dude.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me why they don't do that, but I guess it's a business brand
That'd be sick.
model,
Holy cow.
something that they try to align themselves with. That
dude, the
at least
Mac
to us,
Station,
doesn't make
bro.
sense, but
Mac Station 3, bro.
Mac Station.
The Mac
dude.
Station 3, bro. You need to patent that right now, bro. They're gonna steal that.
Bro, they are like 100%. Well, crazy thing. Sorry, David.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You're good.
I was gonna say, there was rumors that Sony and Apple actually wanted to merge with each other, or one of them wanted to buy one another.
Oh my
but it
gosh.
never went through. But could you imagine if that actually did happen? That'd be insane.
We
dude.
might have lost the
That'd be
PlayStation, dude. I don't know if Matt would have supported or they would have supported it, or if they would just would have let them operate as is. I don't know, but Apple
I don't
doesn't seem
know,
like the
man.
company to do that.
Yeah, I don't know what would have happened, honestly, unless there was some compromises here and there, or like some way to like allow like certain divisions to still operate without a lot of like input from Apple. But it's just one of those what ifs, dude. So
Who knows?
it's
But
one of those what ifs.
well, guys,
Yeah.
that's it for this episode, man. Good one, dude. I agree with you, Chandler. Get some games over so my friend Chandler can play them, and that we can all play on there because we got to buy a PlayStation, and then I got to go get an Xbox ROG Ally and all this stuff. So just port them over, dude. Port them, citizen.
You should have
Anyways.
got a Switch too.
Yeah, I had a chance to get a Switch 2 today, and I didn't. It's because I'm waiting for the Xbox to come out so I can get a solid review on it. If the reviews are bad, I'm getting a Switch 2. But I'm waiting for that because so I can play Mafia on the road or something like it. But until then, I'm going to wait. Guys, I appreciate you watching. We all do, for sure. The next time you see from us, we'll be doing a Mafia 4: The Old Country review. And so that'll be a new thing for us. We've never done an official review on the channel, so bear with us. We're going to try our best, but I can't wait to jump into it. I was going to ask you guys, should I get it on my... I'm going to be traveling a lot this August, and so I'm curious from you guys, should I get the game on my PC, my laptop, which is also portable, or should I get a remote play for $200 for my PlayStation?
Well, I mean, remote play sounds pretty cool, dude. My buddy Morgan has the PlayStation Portal, or that Portal-like thing, like device, so he likes it a lot. I would say get that, dude.
You think so?
You know, yeah, dude. I mean, because you're going to be on the go, and, like, you know, all you got to do is, like, leave your PlayStation, like, on rest mode, and you can play your games, so, on the go. So, unless there's, like, a power hit, that's the only thing you got to worry about.
Yeah.
If there's, like, a power hit.
Then I'll train my cat to turn it on. I can handle that, yeah. Anyways, guys.
They're like, meow.
Meow thing. The ding comes on. My girlfriend still gets mad every time she hears it. But, all right, guys. You guys are awesome. We'll see you on the next one. And until next time.
See
Peace.
ya.